Hello everyone, I'm Shannon Kantner and you're watching CMSD TV, bringing you the latest news out of the Cleveland Metropolitan School District. October is National Principals Month, and CMSD wants to recognize the fearless leaders across the district for all of their hard work and dedication to students and families. We spoke to several principals about their passion for the job. Take a look at how they're making a difference at their schools.
I want to make a change in education in general. I have a 7-year-old son named Nolan who has struggled behaviorally his entire educational career. Between working with him as a mother and working with my students in school and just seeing the impacts of out-of-school discipline and punitive responses to behavior, it almost wasn't a choice. It drove me forward to find a position where I could really have an impact on education.
Surrounding myself and being around the children, seeing them in the morning when they're coming in, I get lots of hugs and smiles and kids. That's sort of my happy place. That's my warm and fuzzy place, is to really be around the children and interact with them and find out more about them.
I know every kid's name in the school, and that alone means a lot to them. I can't tell you how many times I've heard them say, "How do you know my name?" Knowing how they're doing in their classes, making sure that teachers are doing everything that they need to be doing to make sure that all of the kids are learning. It's a trickle-down effect.
I thought what a better opportunity it would be for me as a principal to be able to teach teachers how to establish relationships with students, how to implement different teaching techniques to increase student engagement and enrichment activities, as well as intervention activities to impact the students at a greater level. That's why I chose to be a principal.
It's very challenging. At the same time, it's very rewarding. Our students are really inspired about wanting to learn. They're thinkers, and we have to remember that all children are thinkers. So being a thinker, we have to think about how we challenge them and how we turn all of their energy to that positive light of all of this is for a reason, it's for a purpose, and at the end of the day, I get to be who I was prepared, who I am destined to be, and that's a huge piece of purpose that we put and we instill in our students' lives.
We are working with a very underserved population, and so with that being said, just actually being able to reach out to families, reach out to students and help them to fill needs that they may not have been met before, and understanding that we're educating the whole child. So getting away from, we're just working with them for writing and reading and math, and realizing that we may have children who need clothes or need somewhere to sleep or need help with things at home. We're helping parents with parenting skills. And so whatever our students need, it's been really fulfilling for me to work intimately with the community.
So I just want to say to all the principals out there, it is a 24/7 job, and so for everything that you do, you deserve to be acknowledged this month. Not just this month really, but every single day of the year for all the work that you do.
We know through research that even the most effective teacher can't be fully effective without a great school leader. And I am so proud of the 106 school principals that lead the Cleveland Metropolitan School District.
Thank you, principals!
Thank you for doing all the hard work that you did for all the schools in Cleveland.
Thank you, principals!
Gracias!
Thank you, principals.
Thank you for helping us succeed!
Thank you to each and every one of our CMSD principals for the work you do.
You can show your support for principals on social media using hashtag #ThankAPrincipal. October 10th through 14th was also National School Lunch Week, and a perfect time to showcase CMSD's new semi-scratch cooking, cooking up fresher meals rather than just heating up those cellophane-covered boxes. Students don't usually have a big appetite for school lunches, but now some are asking for seconds. school lunches don't have a very tasteful reputation.
When we used to have it in the little pre-packages, they got all these little packages, got stuck on a rack. The rack got rolled into this really bizarre large oven, and it sat in there for 2 hours. So broccoli was gray, it wasn't green. You know, no matter how well you tried to cook it, it still ended up gray, not green. So we really have come a long way.
Now vegetables are green or orange or whatever color they're actually supposed to be in about 2/3 of K-8 schools across the district. And students are no longer peeling back a layer of cellophane before they can dig in.
This little young man came up and looked on the line and he said, "You're giving us real food?"
Real food items like baked potatoes are cooked totally from scratch, and others are semi-scratch.
What we term as semi-scratch is that there is some preparation of fresh food, but a lot of it is still heat and serve. So even though frozen broccoli is frozen broccoli is frozen broccoli, it looks and tastes much better when you cook it in bulk and you cook it in batches.
It's more work for the kitchen staff, but they say it's worth it and have embraced this new recipe for school lunches.
You gotta be organized. I got a good crew, I cannot complain. And I tell them we gotta work hard. That's the way it is. The little kids, they never used to like the vegetable, now they want broccoli. They ask Kelly, you know, I like it because the kids like it. The kids enjoy the food, I enjoy it too. I wanted the kids to be happy to eat the food.
They're happier than ever to eat the food. I saw students who couldn't even wait to use a fork. Pre-packaged meals often made it in the trash before they made it to a seat in the lunchroom. Plus, those lunches cost 40 cents more than the semi-scratch program. So combined with less food waste, it's a major money-saving meal plan that keeps students' stomachs full and the garbages full of empty trays.
Because not only are they eating it, but they're not taking something that they don't want. When we served it in little boxes, they took all 5 boxes and threw it out, you know, which is very expensive. You know, this way now the server has now developed the relationship with that student. And they ask them, would you like carrots? Do you want salad? Do you want a biscuit? You know, try it, try it. So the relationship now has become established. Now it's more of a family relationship. The kids look at us as a bunch of moms, because that's what we primarily are, moms. And so here's your mom saying to you, you know, come on, honey, try the broccoli. It's good for you.
Studies show a nutritious meal helps students concentrate and perform better in school. But one secret ingredient helps too, a dash of TLC.
When I go into a school and I see the staff interacting with the students, encouraging them to try something, and the food is cooked well, and the kids are looking through that steam table glass with big grins on their face. You know, I'm not a crier, I'm not a super hyper emotional, but I gotta admit, I've gotten choked up a couple times because the kids come up to them and say, thank you for cooking me lunch today.
All CMSD high schools are already serving semi-scratch meals, but some of the older K-8s don't have enough kitchen equipment to make those items, so high schools nearby are stepping in to help. Food Service plans to have all CMSD schools serving semi-scratch meals by January. Breakfast is another important meal for students. United Way of Greater Cleveland helped CMSD celebrate the close of Attendance Awareness Month by flipping flapjacks and serving pancakes hot off the griddle to students all across the district in 20 schools with wraparound services, focused on addressing the effects of poverty by offering students extra services to help them succeed. District CEO Eric Gordon and other community volunteers put on aprons and became master pancake chefs all morning at Patrick Henry. Hear about their experience and what this means to the students.
We got to flip pancakes and serve breakfast to our 350 scholars and their educators here at Patrick Henry. It was a lot of fun, always is. I got to be on the griddle and then got to come in and help some of the kids get their juice and their sausage with it. It was just a great morning.
Just slide it underneath and then set it on top, just drop it off.
One of our 8th graders didn't believe that I was actually coming here and that I would actually do the work, so we brought him out there, put an apron on him, He actually flipped the pancakes, did a great job, and we actually signed an apron for him to take home. The kids just loved it. They were really enjoying the pancakes and enjoying that people have come and know that they're here and doing great things at Patrick Henry, you know. And so it's part of our wraparound strategy, bringing the resources of the community into our schools, and it's a visible display of support from the United Way and all of our partners.
A lot of times they're not accustomed to people taking time to come and spend with them, so it meant everything. It wasn't just the pancakes, it was more so the fellowship with all ages, families, and definitely our CEO. We are so appreciative and grateful. What really stood out was the volunteers and their interactions with our scholars. They made our scholars feel very welcomed, and we love making everyone feel welcome here at Patrick Henry, part of the Patrick Henry family, and we really appreciated their presence this morning.
Let's give our volunteers a hand.
About 7,000 students ate hot pancake breakfasts on September 30th thanks to the volunteers. Another highlight in September was the annual Father's Walk. Hundreds of fathers and father figures across the district walked their children to school, and for many schools, that was only the beginning.
I had the awesome privilege of walking with over 100 men, fathers, grandfathers, uncles, godfathers, cousins, brothers of children at Dyke School of the Arts. It's just an overwhelming and awesome experience just to see African American men come from our communities and bond with their children. It just dispels so many of the myths, and at this point in time, the things that we've been going through, this is just hope. This is so much hope just to see the men walk up to our faith partner, Mount Sinai Baptist Church, and it just gives me chills just to know that we're a part of hope.
I'm a grandfather. Their father wasn't able to make it. He had to work today, so they sent me. I'm hoping that some of the things that I missed with my son, he won't miss with his, and that would be able to be carried on throughout generations. It's encouraging to know that fathers really are getting involved. That's a little exciting.
I'm trying to set the standard, you know. A dad is supposed to treat his daughter how he wants the next man to treat her once she gets older. It means a lot, you know. There's not a lot of fathers in their kids' lives, you know. It's very important to have a father in a child's upbringing, you know. It's very essential. It's great to see other fathers stepping up, you know, coming to school, checking on their kids. We need it. The community needs it, you know. The schools need it. It's good.
Now we can see that they are there, they are supportive, they are willing to help their children. It's just a wonderful feeling. And the children are just so happy to see that their dads, their fathers, their grandfathers that are willing to support them. And just the looks on their faces just makes me happy.
This is the second year in a row that Dyke School of the Arts walked together as a group to Mount Sinai Baptist Church for the Father's Walk, nearly a mile from the school. The principal said she definitely plans on doing it again next year. Another group is celebrating its second anniversary. The True to You mentoring program held its kickoff at the Cleveland Metro Park Zoo again. Check out my story from the larger-than-life event there. The zoo is always a fun place to explore and learn new things, but it can be really helpful to have a little guidance, like a map. And that's exactly what the True to You mentors are offering CMSD 8th graders as they begin learning about their options for high school and exploring their future. The community volunteers will be there to help them navigate through all of it. And it all starts right here at the Cleveland Zoo for the True to You mentoring program Kickoff for the second year in a row. Check out these highlights from their adventures here.
Today is a program launch for our students where they get to come to the zoo and learn about True to You themselves. So we've talked to their teachers, now we're talking to them directly about the program. True to You is a mentoring program for all of CMSD 8th grade students. We bring in business and community members to come in and serve as mentors for our students, and they facilitate a curriculum on personal development and career awareness so that we can get our students to know more about themselves, what their interests are, and what they want to do in the future, and align that with a high school choice so that they can make an informed decision for their high school. A few of the mentors are here to come and meet their students if they didn't have an opportunity before. Students are also having a presentation by Mr. Stedman Graham about identity. So we're talking about who are you and what does that mean. And then also students are getting some information about careers at the zoo. And then they get to also play with something we call biofacts, where they get to experiment with some of the animals. So getting to touch some things that they normally wouldn't. The kickoff is important to set the tone of the program for the year, to help students understand what they're going to be experiencing so that they can get ready. And then we also want them to leave with a feeling that, hey, I have some support in making this decision about high school. There's someone who's going to help me make an informed decision based upon who I am and things that I can look forward to in my future.
The True to You mentors will be visiting students in their schools throughout the year. Reporting from the Cleveland Metro Park Zoo, Shannon Kantner, CMSD TV. Mentors already visited the schools, and special visitors are not uncommon across the district, especially with the election right around the corner. Hillary Clinton campaigned at John Marshall just as the school year began, and then her husband made a stop recently at Ginn Academy. Check out these highlights from the rally and hear how former President Bill Clinton became a Ginn man.
I am glad to be here. Glad to be at the Ginn Academy.
We was talking a little football and, gave him a Ginn Academy jacket because you can't be him and not be a official Ginn man. So he was excited about that, but just to be able to talk to a former president and he be so down to earth, just like a regular person, was a good deal for me. He felt it was an honor for him to have the jacket, and he loved what we do here, and he was pretty much familiar with what we do at Ginn Academy.
I want to thank Ted Ginn Sr., the founder of this academy. Hazel Parker, thank you. Principal Nicholas Petty, thank you. This is a great place, giving young people control of their future.
Well, being at the event was extremely exciting. I'd never been to an event like that before, and it was nice being able to see a former president of ours.
This was a great experience for all our classmates to come together and enjoy something that had nothing to do with the school, but had to do with the community, and for us to have something positive going on.
Remember, the Ginn Academy is about empowerment, isn't it? You get to write your own life story.
I was just looking at the faces of my children and see that they're in a big time place and seeing big time things, that they can be that way, and that you're not in a place that's not exposing you to things to be successful. And then it was just amazing to see that, the look on their face. He kind of talked about some of the values that we believe in here at Ginn Academy, and he kind of put it together in a way that the young people could understand. What we're trying to do is raise young people to be successful in this world, and that's what's needed in the world today.
It's good to have our school getting recognized for certain things. It felt good because everything he said was so true. Ginn is about a school of making you mature and become a better man in life and becoming a better leader.
You will be more empowered to make the most of your own life.
For them to get that experience, I really appreciate them being here to give them kids hope.
The election isn't the only thing that has Clevelanders and the whole country talking. The Indians are on top of their game, but the pitchers have taken a time out to visit a couple of CMSD schools recently. Hear why Trevor Bauer wishes he went to Max Hayes High School, and see why a broken hand couldn't stop Carrasco from reading to students in Spanish at Luis Munoz Marin. He represents Believe Land on the mound, but Trevor Bauer can't believe what's happening at Max Hayes.
Unbelievable. It's a really cool experience to see what the kids are exposed to and what's available to them, and kind of the emphasis on technology-based career paths is really spectacular.
So spectacular, in fact, Bauer wished he was a student at Max Hayes. He said the high school has more equipment than his engineering program offered at UCLA.
I would have loved to go to a high school like this. It would have been awesome for me.
But he settled for an awesome tour of the school led by student ambassadors who detailed the hands-on 21st century learning opportunities at Max Hayes, like welding, auto repair, and robotics.
I felt really happy just showing them about robotics and telling them about how our school works. And he was pretty much telling us like on things he do, like personally with his drones, and how he really he knew some of our machines and our like manufacturers and stuff. I'm like, it was pretty amazing.
He was very, very down to earth, so I was very pleased with that. But to know that he was able to ask the students a lot of questions, the fact that he plays in Cleveland, the fact that he wanted to do something with Cleveland schools, I mean, you can't really beat that.
Most teams in the American League would agree. It's been tough to beat Trevor Bauer and the Cleveland Indians lately, but under those bright lights, Bauer knows he's setting an example for kids in the community on and off the mound, and it hits home for the pitcher.
A lot of kids grow up, I know, wanting to be athletes, and the odds aren't in their favor, but I don't ever want to tell someone they can't do something, because plenty of people told me I wouldn't be an athlete and stay in school and all the different cliches, right? But I'd like to give the kids the message that they can try to achieve their goals athletically and still have this stuff as a background and still prepare themselves in case athletics doesn't work out to be able to have a career. And if athletics does work out, they can still enjoy doing a lot of this stuff like I do. I'd like to be a positive influence on the kids.
It's safe to say he's already hit that one out of the park.
I'm just proud to be a Laker.
¿Y quién es este? Jorge. He is very adamant about doing literacy outreach, especially with the Hispanic and Latino community. So he really enjoys coming to Luis Munoz Marin. We do have a very high population of Hispanic Latino students. So even when he comes, he does a lot of work in English and in Spanish, as he did today. Jorge estaba muy curioso. You have to finish your school, everything, so you can go work and that you can practice everything you learn in school. He was signing books with one hand and everything, so it was really cool. He did a 500 book donation, so he took some books to classrooms. He did a read aloud with first grade and with second grade, and then he did kind of like a mentoring / pep talk with our 8th grade scholars. I think when I look at the 1st and 2nd grade, like just being a little bit more interested in reading now, because he's reading with us. And when I think about the 8th grade, one of the things he's talking to them about is keeping the focus. One of the things he told them is you're going into 9th grade, you need to be focused now. And when we think about long-term as a district, our graduation rates and stuff, we know how important 9th grade is. So to hear him explain that to them was very, very impactful, I think. Because it gives the kids a very positive role model, someone they look up to really give them some, like for example, the 8th grade pep talk, he's giving them some really good advice. And so it's not the same as Mr. Torres is always telling us or the teacher's always telling us. It's somebody else also telling us, you know what, you need to be invested in your education. You need to do the right thing. So I think it's a very positive thing for our students.
That's all the time we have. Thanks so much for tuning in, and to see more videos like this and all of our programming, you can visit the CMSD News Bureau website at clevelandmetroschools.org/news. We'll see you next time.